All right, y'all, so today I'm going to be doing the video I get a lot of requests for. And that's kind of a breakdown of my 220 boxes, and how I made them, and kind of the improvements that I made from last year to this year. Constantly adapting and changing. There's quite a bit of difference from last year to this year as far as how I'm going to be doing it, but this is a lot of what you guys saw me run last year. These nice boxes here, I actually bought them. You can see big gap in there, so they're basically only three-sided with just a couple support things in there. And I run my wire in here, and I'd wire my fish up there. On boxes with only 3 full sides on them. I really like that wire in there to hold that bait up. I think it helps save a lot of bait. So I'll kind of show you guys this one first here. I'm doing this a lot different this year. I got a whole bunch of these clips they got that little screw-on part on them right there to where they can't open. I'm going to screw those on there pretty good with a pair of pliers when I get to trapping season, but just showing you guys, it's just imagine I'm tightening it up a lot more. But basically I'm going to be running this through my swivel on the end. I double swiveled all my 220s for this year, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. But then on the side of these boxes here, you got a little piece of metal. It's used for holding conduit on a wall is what it's used for. And I got these clips. You can just clip it right on there and then tighten that up to where it ain't gonna open up, which I'll use a pair of pliers to get them really tight during season. But that's how I'm attaching my traps this year, guys. I double swiveled all my 220s because I had a couple coon that ring that was on here, I had a couple coon that broke that off because this chain would kink up so much without any swivels. So I double swiveled all of them just exactly for the 220 box purpose. And on these 3-sided ones, these 220s fit in there really good. Again, I didn't make them. I bought these ones, but this is kind of what I was running last year quite a bit. All those fully 3-sided boxes I was using, I ended up getting rid of all those just because they kept falling apart on me. But this is how they sit, guys. That's these 3-sided boxes here. That's the old. We'll go ahead and get into the new now here. I'll pull this 220 off of here quick, which is so much faster with these clips and wiring it on there or whatever. Get my 220 pulled out of here. Box back there. And now we'll get into my new boxes. I'll kind of tell you guys how I made them here in a little bit, but you guys can see 4 full sides. Did that mainly because I think it's going to help me catch more, and I think it's going to help me save some time where I don't have to wire that bait back in there, because there will be 4 sides, so there's no way they can get to it without sticking their head in this 220. But same thing, I believe my clip's actually on this side on this one. Same thing, conduit. And then I made this gap really, really tight on these boxes. If you guys can tell, these boxes are quite a bit shorter height-wise than those other ones. And I'll give you guys kind of a close-up of just how tight it is in there. You guys can see how tight that fits in that box. It's just got enough room for it to go off, and that's it. I think that's going to prevent a lot of the attempted reach arounds and everything too. So, but there's only one way to find out. Got to run them during the season. But that's kind of my new and improved system. They're made out of 3/4 inch plywood. And I actually, for most of my cutting, actually all my cutting other than the notches, I used a table saw. And I ripped them down. I ripped them long ways first to the width that I wanted, and then I cut them up again with the table saw because I didn't have a chop saw big enough to cut them to the length. I'm not going to give the exact dimensions on them because of the person I got the dimensions from, but I can tell you I made them 24 inches long. To me, I like running a longer box like that. I think it also helps with reach-in problems. Screwed them all together with I believe 2.5 inch deck screws. It worked really good actually. And then on the back, just got some wire mesh on there. I think this is 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch mesh, stapled on there. And then the biggest part for me was cutting these notches right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. These notches, what I actually did is I ripped them down. I believe they're 3.5 inches deep, if I remember right. 3.5 inches deep, I believe. And what I did is I ripped them on both sides so where they're exactly in the middle of the box. And from there I took a little hand wood chisel and a hammer, and then I smashed on that and busted those gaps out. So all my slots on these boxes are 3/4 inch, and you guys saw it fits a 220 perfectly. So that's kind of the plan for this year, guys. Also, for those of you who are always worried about my hands, I got a pair of setters for this year. So got them from Funky's. Really like them actually. I used them to set this 220 here, and worked out pretty good. A lot easier than setting them by hand, especially when it's going to get to those longer days where I'm setting 50 or 60 of them at a time. But yeah, guys, that's just kind of the difference between last year and this year. I made about 200 of these, so if you guys like the box strapping, there's about to be a lot more of it. But yeah, double swiveled, a clip with the spin thing, with the screw lock on it. They make just regular clips like this without the screw thing on it. Personally, I don't trust them. I like having that extra security on there with that screw lock on there. And then just some electrical some conduit brackets on there. I put them all on the same side, I'm pretty sure, just so I could get a better rhythm going. But yeah, that's kind of the system I came up with as far as connecting my traps to my boxes, and that's the new and improved version. So we'll see how much better it really is this year, guys. Getting pumped up. We just got back from Escanaba here a couple days ago, and we're narrowing in on season. I think we're within, I think it's low 90s for days left until season, so it'll be here before we know it. But anyways, guys, just figured, I get a lot of comments about these 220 boxes, so I figured I'd kind of show you the old versus the new and kind of how I made these new ones. And if you want to find the dimensions to them, just measure a 220. That's really what the inside spread of your box is what it has to be. You just got to make sure it's going to fit in there, guys, and that it'll still fire too. But yeah, old versus new, guys. That's what we're running this year. We're going to see what happens. Hopefully they catch us a bunch of coon. Anyways, y'all, thanks for watching, and until next time.